With worsted weight yarn, I start by outlining the triangle of the nose, and the very top of the triangle, the flat part, is right centered in the middle of the eyes. That's been very helpful for me to line it up. And then I go usually down to that hole left over by the magic circle, but it's about 2 rows or rounds down, and it should look like this. I do leave that other end out so that at the very end I like to use it to finish up any holes I left over. But once you do that, once you have your triangle, I like to go right behind or right over the top of that first line, and I'm using that as a marker for like where I put my yarn every single time. I also make sure that I come out at the bottom of the hole every single time. So I use the same point every time. As you pull them tight, you also want to be careful. I like to gently hold it, see, as I'm pulling it in, so I don't pull it too far. I don't want it to distort the face at all. And as you can see, I'm kind of filling in the nose in different places, mostly because you don't want to have it stacked too much in one spot. That makes it uneven, and as you keep going, it'll make it bunchy. So I go back in and try to fill in those holes that are left, and that way I feel like I get a smooth, like a more even fill for the embroidery. And now here I'm getting that the other end that I left out on purpose. I just always feel like it helps for me to fill in anything left over, then I don't have to worry about having too long of a piece. And sometimes, and not on every one I've done, but on the ones that I feel like need it, if the top is a little bit uneven, I like to bring just one line over just to kind of I give a nice clean edge to the nose. I always try to keep it pretty tight. And now I'm going to go back to where the bottom is again, and that same hole in the middle at the bottom of the triangle. After you've done that, the little line right underneath the nose, this is where I tie off, and then I'll just weave in those ends through the head, through the same hole right where I tied them to keep it neat and tidy. If you pull that tight and snip as close to the edge as you can without cutting anything, it'll just sink right back into the head. And there you go. That is how I embroider my lion's nose.